Between Europe and Asia, economic dialogue, humanitarian missions, multi-vector operating and the search for compromises in the world arena. How else does Kazakhstan participate in the development of the modern world? For more details, watch the program Kazakhstan International Vectors. Today you will find out what business in Kazakhstan is considered a new driver of the economy, what kind of support does small business have from governments of different countries, and how did Kazakhstani designers conquer Milan.
In many countries of the world, small and medium-sized businesses form the basis of economic development. In some countries, these enterprises provide employment for more than half of the population. Successful business development in the country is determined by the business climate. It is impossible to implement this or that project without a unique idea, a clear development plan, without taking into account political and economic situation. Experts represent the ratings of the countries in which the optimal conditions for entrepreneurship were created. For example, the authoritative American Forbes magazine in 2017 called Sweden the best country for entrepreneurship. In another well-known rating from the World Bank Group, Doing Business, New Zealand was given the first place in favor of the business climate. By the way, Kazakhstan took the 36th place out of 190 possible, which practically puts the republic in the leading position in this indicator.
Kaz Company, or Kazakhstan Modern Professional Clothing, has been operating in the domestic market since 1996, producing special clothing for the oil and gas sector, military personnel and athletes. The company has been sewing clothes for sportsmen for more than 10 years.
There is something to be proud of: the Olympics, the Asian Games, the recent Universiade and Expo. So there is enough interesting directions for our company. Well, here we have a booth demonstrating our achievements. We've twice received a high award from Kazakhstani government. The first place in the Altyn Sapa contest, the best goods of Kazakhstan. We believe that this is a high evaluation of our work from the government side.
This is the Client Relations Department. There are 7 managers working here, each of which is engaged in its own direction. Whether it is the regions of Kazakhstan or Russia, the enterprise cooperates with this country for the 3rd year. The work process is built as efficiently as possible.
Из дизайнерского отдела мы перевели, чтобы было удобно нашим менеджерам работать, дизайнеры непосредственно.
We transferred a designer here to make it convenient for our managers to work. That is, now managers can quickly register all the wishes of our customers. We have a separate employee who only deals with electronic trade and tenders, with the execution of documents by tracing everything. So for this we have a completely separate employee. Here, side by side, there is an advertising department engaged in promotion. We have our own photo studio, which is very small, but which makes it convenient and comfortable for us to work.
Это тоже на одной территории находится, чтобы было удобно и комфортно работать.
This is one of the most important parts of the garment industry, the design department. Its employees are engaged in the development of templates.
For any clothes to have a good fitting, it is necessary to build it competently and professionally. We have been building templates for a very long time, for about 15 years in the German graphics program, so all the processes are automated. We do the layout in the German AutoNester program, and Gerber program works for a cutout section. Therefore, we have a very convenient program. It is a professional design program that guarantees compliance with all Union State standards and provides for everything that a professional designer needs to know.
Due to the use of such an automated system of templates construction and of course professional skills of clothing designers, the company successfully manages to serve about 100 customers a month.
100 orders means, for example, let me show you. Every order contains the information like that. Here at the moment there is a t-shirt. Here is the information about who is the customer, how many units do we need to produce. Everything is very clearly painted here. We have samples of fabric, silhouettes, designs and accessories in the order form. That is, it is a document on which all the technical tasks for all production departments are described in great detail. each department works on this document. Sometimes it happens that there are several models in one outfit, but sometimes, as it is here, the order provides for only one unit. Therefore, of course, in this figure we can also see samples for production, which we are constantly launching, new models for working out some flows, knots of some kind. And there is both a mass production and small orders for all our activities.
It is an experimental production site, a real creative workshop where designers and technologists come up with new models. Now the production of such raincoats from the new collection is just on stream.
Our designers here used a little non-standard technology. Here two fabrics are used, that is, the inner fabric of the golden color and the grid on top. That is quite an interesting solution, an interesting design. An uneven bottom line. The bottom line can also be adjusted. That is, we think that our mods will appreciate this design.
Down jackets are sewn on this site. Production of these clothes is a completely new direction for Kazakhstan, but it is already in demand abroad.
Here it is, for example, a down jacket vest, a waistcoat from fluff which has such a long silhouette cocoon. Lacquer black fabric is used for its production, which is now quite fashionable and relevant. We have already sent these very products to the Russian market. We have 2 points there in Moscow and St. Petersburg and in Omsk and Krasnodar. That is, a Zebru design clothes is already worn in Russia this season.
This is the design department. It is the creative potential of these employees that allows the company to develop original models for new collections. The Zebru design is just a 1-year-old, but Yelena is rightfully proud of the results of design developments. Recently, the Zebru clothing was presented in Europe.
In February this year, we exhibited our first collection of down jackets at the White Milano. That is, the collection was well accepted by the European market with dignity. We even got to the Cosmopolitan Italy. Our golden skirt from fluff was published as the fashion direction of 2018-2019 season. Therefore, it only has inspired us to further plans, and this fall, together with the support of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, we presented the collection to the European market in the spring-summer season of 2018. In this direction, we now have signed contracts, and our products will be exported to Italy and Germany.
High quality and individual design are the main principles of the company's work. Therefore, the Zebru brand is premium clothing. Technologies used in production allow designers to realize all their ideas. Fashionable colors, modern materials, digital printing and high-quality imported fittings.
Относительно очень тонкий материал, это нейлон, наверное, 70 грамм только, поэтому мы...
This is a relatively thin material, nylon, probably 70 grams only, so we say that for the summer it is quite a very interesting and effective model. But if talking about the sports suits, then of course this should only be chic, so it is clear that this knitted fabric is cotton knitted fabric. Elements of decoration here are already a little bit luxury.
Здесь уже немножко, чуть-чуть все-таки элементы люкс.
This year in spring at the Astana Fashion Week, Zebru design was recognized as the best brand by the Elle magazine. This is really a high recognition in the fashion world, and from the end of 2017, the company's products with the label Made in Kazakhstan appeared in local stores for the wide sale.
In sports direction, we continue the concept of national color. If Zebru design is oriented to the Russian and European market, then here we are the patriots of our country, and we would like to see the residents of Kazakhstan in clothes that shows the history of our culture.
In developed countries, small and medium-sized enterprises are the basis of a market economy, as can be seen from the high indicators that determine the level of SME development. Thus, in the US, Britain, Germany, Italy and France, the small and medium-sized business sector provides employment to half the population and produces from 50 to 70% of GDP. In Kazakhstan, small business is considered a new driver of the economy. In 2016, its share in the country's GDP exceeded 18%. 5 years ago, this figure was 3 times lower.
I think it's not a secret that each and every country is basically very much interested in growing the SME sector. Why? Because it's usually the backbone of the economy. It is particularly interesting here in Kazakhstan, as we're an oil exporting country. So the interest of the government is, of course, in terms of diversifying the economy and grow domestic suppliers, domestic businesses, to strive.
To date, in Kazakhstan, systemic measures are being taken to develop the small and medium-sized business sector. For example, the Damu Enterprise Development Fund plans to attract a loan from the European Investment Bank in the amount of 200 million euros for the development of green projects. Funds for small and medium-sized businesses will be issued through second-tier banks in national currency, which will eliminate additional risks for banks and entrepreneurs. By the way, the volume of lending in the SME sector is constantly growing. The bulk of loans are concentrated in the cities of Almaty and Astana. In the sectoral context, the largest annual increase was observed in agriculture, fisheries and forestry, car and motorcycle repairs, as well as wholesale and retail trade. This sector accounts for more than a third of total lending to small businesses.
According to the ranking.kz portal, in Kazakhstan, the annual growth in lending to small businesses by the end of July 2017 was 11.2% and exceeded 3 trillion tenge. A year earlier, the highest growth of this indicator in the country over the past decade was registered by more than 60%, up to 2 trillion 800 million tenge.
Also, there is a unified business support program, Business Roadmap 2020 in Kazakhstan. Its main goal is to preserve existing and create new working places, as well as to ensure sustainable and balanced growth of regional entrepreneurship in non-primary sectors of the economy. This goal is achieved, among other things, by providing consulting and financial support to entrepreneurs on preferential terms. One of the partners of the state in this area is the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development.
The essence of the program is that we offer entrepreneurs grants for co-financing consulting projects. The project can be of any kind. It can be a business plan, it can be rebranding, and it can be an outlet to new markets, some kind of research, and so on. If this is a construction, it can be a project on the estimated documentation. That is, such a project, given the fact that we give grants to an entrepreneur, even if a small business, can afford at a sufficiently high professional level and attract consultants in principle from around the world.
The Program of Financing and Development of Small Business of EBRD has been working in Kazakhstan since 2001. During this time, more than 1,500 projects were successfully implemented. It is interesting that in 2013, Kazakhstan became the first state among the EBRD host countries which acted as the donor of this program. Until 2015, the Republic allocated almost 3 million euros, which went to the implementation of 330 consulting projects and 50 events to develop the market. The program was extended until 2020 and the amount of allocated funds exceeded 22 million euros.
Within this program, 22 million euros were allocated for a 5-year term. That is, there is a joint account for which both the European Development Bank and the Ministry of National Economy of Kazakhstan allocate these funds, and of them only grants are paid. That is, the means of this account are only for technical assistance, and all other costs, as the content of the team, way bills, etc., this entire burden is taken by the European Bank. That is, this is the plan of the scheme. As for these funds, then, well, approximately a year, we can implement about 250 consulting projects. One project takes from 6 months to a year, depending on the complexity of the task. In the period from 2016 to 2020, the EBRD's Small Business Finance and Development Program is designed for the following annual results: 150 consulting projects with local consultants, 20 consulting projects with international experts, 6 market development activities, as well as events on sectoral development with the participation of international experts.
So the Advice to Small Businesses program of the EBRD in Kazakhstan, as in 27 more countries of operation of ours, is basically to support small and medium-sized enterprises and to improve competitiveness of our partners. So that means that we would like to venture into new markets with our partners, that we would like to innovate the processes within the company, that we would like to bring HR approach to another level.
The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development provides support to small and medium-sized businesses not only in Kazakhstan. Full-fledged EBRD offices operate also in Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, and grants for small business consulting are provided in all these countries, of course with the participation of local partners.
So we're very proud that we can work together with the Ministry of National Economy and together with DAMU on basically improving competitiveness of the SME sector in general in Kazakhstan, and therefore as well contribute to the economy to grow and to come to a new innovation level. Actually, not so long ago, I think 2 months ago, we sent a group of 12 entrepreneurs, designers, to participate, Kazakh designers, to participate in the White Milano in Italy. And it was very successful. It was the first time that we did it. We actually sponsored a small booth at the exhibition, and 3 companies actually did sign contracts on the spot in Italy, and now we have the follow-up, and we're very successful with this sort of approach.
What criteria should an entrepreneur in Kazakhstan meet in order to receive support from the EBRD is stipulated in the law on private entrepreneurship. Consulting is not a product of first necessity, the organization's representatives say. Therefore, their main customers are companies with at least 2 years of experience in the market and certain financial indicators. But there is another important criterion.
The most important thing is that the entrepreneur wants to change himself, wants to develop, and then our project specialists select a consultant for him or her, help to draft the technical task, and accompany the project until its successful completion.
We have priority sectors that we would like to support. That means as well some of the directions we would usually actually support are not eligible here in Kazakhstan. Yeah? Mainly this is retail. Yeah? So what we like to do here in Kazakhstan is manufacturing, is agriculture, transport, logistics, to a certain extent even tourism, but ever more so ICT, so Internet Communications Technologies. Yeah?
In Germany, small business is one of the most actively and steadily developing sectors of the economy. It includes enterprises with up to 500 employees and of a turnover of up to 50 million euros. There are about 3 million such enterprises in the country. Here, small business is mainly export-oriented. About 1,500 German small enterprises have become leaders among world exporters. The model of SME financing through the Credit Bank for Rehabilitation functions in Germany. In addition, there are more than 200 small business support programs in the country. A microcredit system for up to 25,000 euros is developed. In the United States, the leading body of state support for small businesses is the Small Business Administration and its regional and local branches. A certain work in this direction is led by the congressional committees for SMEs and numerous special bodies and ministries, departments and local authorities. About 1 million new companies are created annually in the country, of which 60% work at home with the support of the US Department of Labor. More than 20 million Americans, or 1/5 of the entire employed population of the country, work in the small business segment. The Kaz Expo and Company is firmly on its feet today, carrying out state orders for clothing in the oil and gas sector and the defense industry of the Republic. Retail direction is new for the company, therefore there are a lot of plans for the nearest future.
Перспективное направление – это производство одежды вот с такими новыми.
A promising direction is the production of clothes with these new innovative technologies. It is clothing from the fluff. Therefore, we think that in the next couple of years we will please our Kazakhstani people with our products, where we will guarantee protection at a temperature of -30, -40 degrees centigrade. And we are introducing new technologies without threading the products down. I am engaged in innovative projects, I like it very much, and research work is my field of activity. Designers in the direction of zebra design develop new collections. We put global plans for export to the Russian market for down jackets, down products. So here's something like this.
Изделиям на пуху. Поэтому вот примерно так.
The development of small and medium-sized businesses is an indispensable condition for sustainable economic development in the long term, experts say. At the same time, they note that the role of SMEs in the context of economic instability increases. They allow solving the problems of reducing and contracting large businesses by creating new jobs. This sector also forms new market niches, which is an additional incentive for the development of the economy and ensuring its security in any state.